2023 has basically been a quiet year because it's the quiet before the storm, right? That's what it is. It's the quiet before the storm.
Hi guys, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, my name is Carmen. Welcome. So in this video today, I'm going to give you my predictions for the year 2024. World predictions, what we can expect to see happening around the world, as well as personal predictions for you, right? Personal predictions based on your personal year number in numerology. It's like a personal reading to kind of show you what energies and what to expect for the year. So we're going to talk about that in the second half of the video. But let's talk about the world predictions first, okay? What can we expect to see happening in the world in the year 2024? And I do one of these videos every single year. I've been doing them for the past 4 years now. So this video I've been a little bit hesitant to put out because I'm trying to figure out, how do I be honest with people and at the same time not scare people and worry them about what's to come? But this is going to be a year like no other. 2024 is going to be a year that will go down in history. So it's going to be a truly historical year. So, I want to be honest with you guys. I want to share with you guys what is going to happen, mostly because I think you guys should be prepared, right? Let's just do a quick recap of 2023. 2023 was a universal 7-year in numerology, okay? And what I said would happen in the year 2023 is I said it would be a slow-paced year, right? There wouldn't be a lot of action happening, right? Because 7 is a more slow-paced energy. It's not about action, it's about thought, increasing your awareness, right? Learning things. Universal 7 years can be a little slow-paced, right? For the whole entire world, as well as for you on an individual level. A lot of people felt like they got blocked. Now, another thing I predicted was that you would see huge technological breakthroughs in the year 2023. And we saw that, right? We saw that with all of these advancements in AI. Suddenly everybody's using it for everything. That's the energy of the 7, right? 7 is the number of intellect. So we saw huge technological breakthroughs and advancements in 2023. It's also a very spiritual energy, and I did predict that more people would start to awaken, have spiritual awakenings, their awareness would start to grow, that there would be a growing interest in the population about finding the hidden truths that have been hidden from us, hidden knowledge, and more of an interest in spirituality. But now let's talk about 2024, right? Because that's why you're here, right? 2024, if you add all of the numbers together, you get an 8. It reduces to an 8, right? This is not just any 8 year. This is a 44-8 in numerology, right? Because if you add the numbers together, you get 2 plus 2 is 4, and then 4, so you get 44 8s. So 44 has 2 4s in it, right? So we have to talk about the 4 energy first before we talk about the 8. The 4 energy in numerology is the number of building, right? It's the number of rebuilding. And it's not an easy energy. It's a very difficult energy. It can be very challenging. It can be very difficult. And I talk about this a lot in my video about why this decade has been so difficult so far. So definitely check that video out if you haven't already. I'll put a link to it below. But the 4 energy is not an easy energy because it's all about building something new, okay? Building a structure, okay? If you look at a building, look at a table. Building has 4 walls. 4 is a number of structure and what it takes to build that structure and to create that structure. So it can have a very destructive energy to it because in order to build a structure, you have to demolish and you have to get rid of the old dilapidated structure, right? So it can have a very destructive quality to it. And so we see the number 4 appearing twice in this number, right? There's 2 4s. So this is going to be a year on a global scale, right? Not talking individually, but on a global level. This is going to be a year in which a lot of stuff it gets destroyed. A lot of things are going to get destroyed this year, guys. A lot of things are going to get destroyed. Just having 1 4 in there can be so challenging, right? And we see this in the year 2020, right? 2020 was a 22-4 year. And that year just had 1 4 in it. And look how challenging the year 2020 was.
That's what the 44 is. It's all about restructuring and rebuilding something better, right? And something better so that we can get to the 8 energy, right? Because this is a 44-8. So the ultimate number here that we're looking at is the 8 energy and what it takes to get to the 8 energy, right? And 8 is all about power and being empowered and what we have to do to get to that energy of being able to take our power back. So the destruction, the rebuilding, it's all for the people to be empowered and to take their power back. Because what's really happening is that we are moving from old earth into new earth, right? There's a huge shift that is happening on the planet right now. If you're not aware of this shift into new earth, check out a video that I did on it. I'll link it below in the description box. But what's really happening is we are shifting into new earth, right? We are moving away from the old earth and the old way of being that does not serve most of humanity, right? And it's been in place for thousands of years. And we are shifting into a new energy, a new earth that serves everybody and not just a select group of people. So what's happened over the past couple thousand years is the power has become concentrated into the hands of just a few people, right? The entitlement class, the elites. And it's become concentrated into the hands of a few people and a few corporations that run and own everything. And these few corporations that run and own everything, they are in cahoots with the governments all around the world, right? They are in bed with all of them. And I can't speak to every country because I'm not an expert on every country, but this is happening mostly around the world, right? And we see this in the United States, where the government has become extremely corrupt and is basically run by a few large corporations, such as Big Pharma, right? Big Pharma and a few others that run and own everything. And they are running and controlling the mainstream media too. The mainstream media has become extremely corrupt. In the United States, watch any news network, and during every single ad break, you will see, and sponsored by Pfizer, and sponsored by Pfizer, right? So you see these large corporations that are controlling everything.
Another one of these is BlackRock. If you do the research, you'll discover that BlackRock owns almost everything. And then, of course, you have all these corrupt politicians that receive money from these large corporations, and you can never get rid of these people. You can never vote them out.
And everything has become extremely corrupt, right? And the little guy has no power anymore. And so we cannot have this imbalance in power when we move into New Earth. We are shifting into a new way of being in which there's going to be more love and compassion on the planet. And this new earth that's happening, that we're shifting into, cannot be with so many corrupt institutions all over the world where the people have no power. So that's going to be the main theme of 2024, is the people taking their power back, right? People becoming empowered again so that we can shift into new earth and there can be more of a balance. And how do we get to that? How do we get to people becoming more empowered? Unfortunately, with the double 4s and the 8, it could very well be through destruction, right? Because that's what the building and the rebuilding energy is, right? You go on to any construction site where they're building new homes. What are they doing? A lot of times they're demolishing things, right? They're coming in with a bulldozer and they're bulldozing all the old houses down because they're broken and they need that land to build the new houses. That's part of building. So we're going to see the biggest shift into new earth that we have ever seen before. This will be the biggest shift and probably one of the most historical years of our lifetime because of this 44-8 energy. 2023 has basically been a quiet year because it's the quiet before the storm, right? That's what it is. It's the quiet before the storm. Now, the beautiful thing about storms is, yes, they are difficult. Yes, they are challenging. But after the storm passes, you see new life springing up. The grass starts growing and the flowers start growing. And animals start to come out and the air smells fresh and clean and new. And it's like all of the old gunk and the dirt and the pollution gets washed away in the storm, right? That's the beautiful thing about storms, is they leave everything cleaner and new and fresh. And they wash away all the dirt and the gunk that's been building up. We can soften it with our intentions. We can move on to a timeline in which this energy is a little bit softer. It's not as difficult, but it is the storm year and there's no avoiding that. So that's what 2024 is. It's that storm that comes in to wash all of the dirt away and lead us more into new earth than ever before. So yes, you're going to see a lot of destruction of institutions that represent the establishment all over the world, right? Anything that represents the establishment and has taken power away from the people so that things are very unbalanced, that's going to be destroyed so that balance can be restored. So this could be destruction of governments all over the world. And I'm being shown people trying to take their power back, right? Anything to get to the 8 energy, which is all about empowerment. And it's the number of power, right? And so this could even be people rioting in the streets. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but I'm being shown like potentially rioting in the streets. That could be protesting.
This could also be countries rising up and asserting their power. I did predict that China was going to try to take Taiwan in 2024 or 2025 in my World War III predictions video. So check out that video. I'll link it below in the description box.
We're going to see destruction of finances. 8 represents finances in numerology. It represents wealth and abundance. It is the number of wealth. We're going to see destruction of that all over the world in 2024. Get ready. I'm not trying to scare anybody here. I'm trying to prepare you guys, right? There could be financial collapses all around the world. A lot of economies have become very unbalanced. We could see the crashing of economies all over the world. People losing their jobs, from companies going out of business, from the stock market crashing. So hopefully this won't affect anybody watching this video, but be prepared if something like that does happen. Now, another thing is currency too. 8 represents wealth. So this is currency, a destruction of currency that has become unbalanced. And then them trying to put in a new currency into place, right? To replace the old one that they destroyed, right? They destroyed it, but now they come in with the solution with the new currency that they're trying to put into place, right? There's going to be destruction of all things that represent the entitlement class. This could also be the media too. We start to see legacy media networks that have been around for many, many years. We start to see them going bankrupt in 2024. This is going to be a huge year for people to stand up to power and to take their power back. And I'm being shown that it's going to be the year that signifies the end of the demigods, right? So Earth has been ruled by demigods for the past couple thousand years, right? These are fake gods that rule over the planet, that people put all of give all their power to, basically, right? They're fake gods. And we see this with celebrity culture. But we will really see the fall of the demigods in 2024. So anybody that represents fake god energy, Earth has been ruled by demigods, fake gods for the past couple thousand years. But that cannot withstand a new Earth, right? This new Earth that's being created. Check out my video on New Earth. I'll put a link to it below in the description box. But that kind of energy cannot be represented in New Earth, because in New Earth, we are all equal. We all have value. We are all special. We are all just as loved. We are all just as valuable as anybody else, regardless of how much money we have, regardless of how famous we are, everybody is equally the same in New Earth. And you can't have this imbalance, right? This imbalanced world where there's one group of people that have been turned into gods, and that will have to come to an end for us to shift into New Earth, right? And this includes the elites and people taking their power back from them. So now that we've talked about this 44-8 year on a global level, on a global scale, what will happen in the world, let's talk about how it will affect you personally. And then after that, we're going to talk about your personal year number, right? Because the personal year number is the most important number, and that can predict a lot of things that are going to happen for you this year. So we're going to talk about that next. But in general, the 8 energy is going to affect you on an individual level a lot, because now you are given the green light to take action this year. Right? Like I said, in 2023, a lot of people, because 7 is a more slow-paced energy, a lot of people felt like they were getting blocked. 8 is the number of action. It's all about manifestation, and it's all about magic. Think of the tarot, right? In the tarot, we have the magician card. And the magician is the person that creates magic out of nowhere. So that's what the 8 energy is. It's you becoming the magician of your life. You creating magic. You taking all of that inspiration, all of that awakening, all of that knowledge that you learned in the 7 year, in the prior year, taking all of that and actually doing something with it now, and creating something with it, and manifesting something into the physical world with it, with all that knowledge, right? So on a personal level, this is going to be a big year for action, right? It's going to be a big year for action. Yes, there can be destruction on a global level that happens in a 44-8 year, but on a personal level, it doesn't have to affect you. You can really utilize this energy. Millionaires and billionaires can also be created if they seize on opportunities during those events. But let's now talk about your personal year number and what you can expect to happen on a personal level, because the personal year number in numerology is going to be the most important number. Okay, this is the number that's affecting you for a given year, and it can predict a lot of things that will happen for you that year and the energy that you will be experiencing in that year. So to get your personal year number, you just take the month you were born in and reduce it to a single digit, unless you were born in November, because that's going to be an 11 and it's a master number. Then you take the day you were born on and reduce it to a single digit, and then you add it to the universal year number, which is an 8. So for me, I was born in June, and that's a 6. And I was born on the 17th of June, and that reduces to an 8. So I'm just going to take all these numbers and add them across. 6 plus 8 plus 8 is 22. So I'm having a master 22 personal year in numerology. So, and it will definitely be quite different than my 3 personal year that I had in the previous year, because it's a very different energy. So. And then after you find out what your personal year number is, then skip to that part of the video and you can check the timestamps below for your personal year number.
So let's talk about what your year might be like if you're having a personal 1 year. And I want you to keep in mind that your personal year will also be greatly affected by the physical, mental, and spiritual transits that you are having that year, in addition to the pinnacle that you're in as well. And that not all personal years will be the same because of this. For example, not all people having a personal year number 1 will have the exact same year, because those people will be having different transits, and they will all be in a different pinnacle as well. So keep that in mind when listening to what I'm about to tell you about your upcoming personal year number 1. Now, with that being said, so if you are having a personal 1 year, that means that you are starting out at the beginning of your pinnacle. So we are all currently in a pinnacle. You will go through a cycle in your pinnacle. You'll go through all of the numbers 1 through 9. Basically, if you were in a 1 personal year, you're at the very beginning of your pinnacle. If you don't know what your pinnacle is, check out my video on how to calculate that. I'll put a link to it below in the description box. It's very important to know what your pinnacle is, because your pinnacle determines basically what the energy is going to be like for you for the next 9 years. So If you're having a personal 1 year, you're going to see a lot of change in the area of new beginnings. So you're going to have a lot of new beginnings during this year, and these new beginnings could be in all areas. So it could be in the area of career, family, love, relationships, friendships. It could be in anything. And you will especially be having a lot of new beginnings in whatever number your pinnacle is in. So find out what number your pinnacle is, because you're going to have a lot of new beginnings, especially in that number. But you will generally have a lot of new beginnings in everything during a 1 year. You're going to have a lot of energy this year. The universe is going to basically pump you up and pump you full of energy. You will have more energy during a one personal year than most of the other numbers. And that's because the universe wants you to start new things. It really wants you to take the initiative and to start things, to initiate things, to get things going. And the universe is going to support you in this. Whatever you start during your one personal year, usually you will continue that for the next 9 years. It will be something that you will be focusing on for the rest of the years in your pinnacle. So, if you've been wanting to do something, if there's something that's been on your mind that you've been really wanting to start, this is going to be the year to do that. You will be supported by the universe. You will be encouraged by the universe to do that, to get that started, to get that going, to get it off the ground. The universe will support you. It will throw things in your path that will help you to do that. And you will definitely have the energy to do it during this year. So try to start as many new projects and get as many new things going as you have been thinking about, anything that you've been desiring, anything that you've been wanting to try to do. There's something that you feel like is missing in your life. Try to get that started. Try to initiate that this year, and you will definitely be supported by the universe. Now, the focus is going to be more on you this year, and that's okay. There will be other years where you can focus on other people and taking care of other people, but in this year, you need to take care of yourself, and your individual needs will come first this year, and that's okay. The main thing to keep in mind here is to be ready for major changes. You're starting out a brand new pinnacle. Everything you do now will affect your future for the next 9 years. So do not hold back the inner force of creation that is within you. Be direct during this time and be very bold. You'll have more confidence and determination this year in comparison, especially to last year, which was a time of letting go and endings, right? So this year is going to represent a time of birth, rebirth. It's going to be a time to take charge and to apply yourself to your dreams. This is also a good time to make personal changes that you have long been wanting to make, to start, like I said, new beginnings, right? Start a new diet, start a new exercise program, a new way of studying, a new way of being, a new job, a new career. Sometimes there can be some emotional upheaval and turmoil that happens during a personal 1 year, especially in the beginning of the year. So you will be challenged this year for sure. And it does sometimes take a little bit of some time to get the ball rolling, right? So there are many changes that you must make, and there's a lot of work to be done. So be open-minded, be organized, be focused, and try to avoid distractions and procrastination. Sometimes that can happen during a personal 1 year. You are basically at a crossroads, and you will need the courage and the clear head to stay on the right track. So this can be a great year for tons of new opportunities. As I said, lots of new beginnings. You're going to have a great year this year. Thank you so much for listening, and definitely subscribe if you haven't already. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with other people. So let's talk about what your year will be like if you're having a personal 2 year. And I want you to keep in mind that your personal year will also be greatly affected by the physical, mental, and spiritual transits that you're having that year, in addition to the pinnacle that you're in as well. And that not all personal years will be the same because of this. For example, not all people having a personal year number 2 will have the exact same year, because those people will be having different transits, and they will all be in a different pinnacle number as well. So keep that in mind when listening to what I'm about to tell you about your upcoming personal year number 2. Now, with that being said, So if you're having a 2 personal year, then you're personally going to be seeing a lot of change in the area of relationships. So 2 is the number of cooperation, working with other people, teamwork, being a team player. You will definitely advance further during this year if you work with other people. Remember that. Going about things by yourself, trying to do things alone during a 2 personal year, you will not get very far if you do that. The universe will support you the more you try to work with other people. This is going to be a year of relationships. So this will be a great year for starting new relationships, for improving current relationships. The universe will support you basically in terms of whatever energy you put out into relationships. So if you've been looking to get into a new relationship, I see this happen a lot where people enter a 2 personal year and suddenly, if they've been single for a long time, they are suddenly in a relationship, and it's a balanced, happy, committed relationship. Because they put that energy out there during that 2 personal year, and the universe matched them and supported them. So this is going to be a great time for that. If you are currently in a relationship, the universe will support you to help make your relationship more balanced, more harmonious, right? Because 2 is a number of harmony. It's a number of peace. So the universe will support you to help make your relationship more peaceful. If that's something that you want to work on this year, you're going to need tact, cooperation, and patience to keep yourself moving forward this year. There could be confrontations with other people that require you to become gentle in your approach with them. So watch out for that. Sometimes it does happen. Being forceful or uncooperative with others will definitely work against you this year. So try to compromise as much as possible. Also, your intuition will be heightened during this year. You will be highly intuitive. You will be picking up on all kinds of information around you. You will be very sensitive to all of the energies around you during a 2 personal year. So definitely find ways to protect your energy a little bit more during a 2 personal year. To remember to not take things so personally and to watch out for being overly sensitive in regards to, what other people might tell you or what other people might say to you. You may wonder what happened to all of the drive and the ambition that you felt last year. But just know that this year is going to be different. It's going to require something else from you. A delicate sense of balance and a willingness to go around obstacles without losing sight of your goals and your dreams and what you are trying to achieve. You might experience some depression and frustration this year, and sometimes it can be a struggle because it's going to be a lot slower paced than last year. So just knowing that will definitely help with this if that does happen. If you find ways to protect your energy, you will definitely be able to make the most of this 2 personal year, and you will definitely be able to feel more of the positive energies of this year. You need to be wise in all of your relationships this year. You're very capable of establishing close and even lifelong relationships now. Because sensitivity and openness are heightened, many people find their soulmate and even sometimes a twin flame during a 2 personal year. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. You're going to have a great year if you're having a 2 personal year, and definitely subscribe if you haven't already. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with other people. Thanks for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. So let's talk about what your year will be like if you're having a personal 3 year. And I want you to keep in mind that your personal year will also be greatly affected by the physical, mental, and spiritual transits that you're having that year, in addition to the pinnacle that you're in as well. And that not all personal years will be the same because of this. For example, not all people having a 3 personal year will have the exact same year because those people will be having different transits and they will all be in a different pinnacle number. So keep that in mind when listening to what I'm about to tell you about your upcoming personal year number 3. Now, with that being said, so if you are having a 3 personal year, The first thing you need to know is that all forms of communication will be supported by the universe this year. So if there's somebody that you've been wanting to talk to, if there's somebody that you've been wanting to communicate to, express something to, there's somebody that you've been wanting to express your feelings to, or if there's somebody that you've been wanting to talk to for a while but you haven't gotten around to do that, then if you do that this year, you will be supported by the universe, because all forms of communication are supported during your 3 personal year. All forms of self-expression will be supported by the universe this year. So if you have been wanting to express yourself in some sort of way, maybe you've been wanting to make a YouTube channel or a TikTok channel, or you've been wanting to create a website, or something where you're more in the public eye, something where you've been wanting to express yourself more, then this will be the year to do it, because you will be encouraged by the universe to do that, and you will be supported by the universe. Whatever effort you put into self-expression will be supported this year, and you will go far if you try to do it during a 3 personal year. Also, any creative projects that you've had on your mind, any forms of creativity, music, art, writing, especially in the areas of performing arts, those are also going to be supported during a 3 personal year. So the more you put yourself out during a 3 personal year, the more you will be supported by the universe, and you will have all kinds of opportunities come your way and will be thrown at you during a 3 personal year. I find that during 3 personal years, people just have so many opportunities that just come their way because they're a little bit more out and about, and they're putting themselves out there more, they're expressing themselves more. They have this need to do that during a 3 personal year, and all kinds of opportunities just come your way during a 3 personal year. So take advantage of those opportunities. This is going to be a great year for creating anything, and that includes children and families too. So sometimes people get pregnant during a 3 year because the universe is supporting you in terms of all forms of personal creation. Typically, people have a lot of energy during a 3 personal year, and they're usually very happy during their 3 year. 3 is a very joyful, happy number, so this can be a very positive, happy year for you. It's also a great time to make new friends. So if you've been wanting to meet new people, then the universe will support you in your efforts to do that this year. And that can be in all areas. So, not just meeting people in person, but if you were to meet new friends over the internet, over Facebook groups and that kind of thing, then you will definitely be supported by the universe during a 3 personal year if you wanted to do that. All forms of communication are going to be supported during a 3 personal year. So that includes the internet, that includes social media. So try to use all of those modalities to basically do whatever it is that you've been wanting to do. And if you try to use those forms of communication to do whatever it is that you've been wanting to do, you will be supported by the universe during a 3 personal year. Now you want to make sure to protect your energy, not try to scatter yourself in too many places. Often during a 3 personal year, people will try to do multiple projects. They're not as focused as they had been in other years. So don't spread yourself too thin during a 3 year. You might feel the need to do that this year. You might feel the need to take on multiple projects and to do multiple things. Take on as many things as you possibly can. You will be given more energy during this year. But remember that there's only so much that you can do, and you don't want to spread yourself too thin during a 3 year. And if you do that and find ways to focus on all of the good things that are happening for you during your 3 personal year, then you will stay on the positive side of this number, and you will have a great year this year. And a 3 year usually is a more lighthearted, optimistic, fun, entertaining type of energy as compared to the previous year. And this is usually a pleasant time in which friendships are enjoyed and love is easily shared. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure to do that. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with other people. And I'll see you in my next video. So let's talk about what your year might be like if you're having a personal 4 year. And I want you to keep in mind that your personal year will also be greatly affected by the physical, mental, and spiritual transits that you're having that year, in addition to the pinnacle that you're in as well. And that not all personal years will be the same because of this. For example, not all people having a personal year number 4 will have the exact same year, because those people will be having different transits and they will all be in different pinnacles as well. So keep that in mind when listening to what I'm about to tell you about your upcoming personal number 4 year. Now, with that being said, so if you're having a 4 personal year, then you can expect to have a little bit more stability in your life this year compared to other years. 4 is a very stable number, and you're going to be challenged to kind of bring in a little bit more stability. And so relationships could become more stable, things at work could become more stable, all areas of your life could become more stable. You're going to be encouraged by the universe to make that happen, and usually it does. A 4 year is not always the easiest year. You will definitely be challenged to put in a lot of work, to put in a lot of effort. 4, as I always say, is the most hardest working number out of all of the numbers, and so usually during a 4 year, you do have to put in a lot of work. You do have to focus your energy. And usually the universe will throw something in your path to kind of help you to focus your energy on that one thing. And so you will be working hard this year, but you will also be more successful this year, because usually with that hard work, there comes a lot of success also. So you're more likely to put in the work, but you're also more likely to be successful too as a result of the work that you put into your 4 year. But what I find is that during a 4 year, people have the ability to focus more than in any other number. There's something about this number that when you enter a 4 personal year, you are able to focus so much. And if you found that in other numbers you haven't been able to focus on something, you haven't been able to focus your energy, you felt a little bit more lazy during some of the other years, you will not be feeling like that this year. You know, you're challenged to work harder, but there's something within you that makes you want to do that. You're not feeling good unless you do that. And you're given all this energy by the universe to make it happen. And you're able to focus your mind so much during a 4 year that take advantage of this year. Whatever you put your hard work and your effort into this year, you will see so much reward. You will see rewards multiplied, and you will see so much come out of it in years to come. This is the year that you have to do that though. This is the year that you have to put in that work so that you can see all of those rewards and all of that success come. And it does come, you know, it doesn't always come during the 4 year, but it does come soon afterwards. And so people often feel like they're being challenged during a 4 year, but yes, you're being challenged, but you're being challenged to be the very best that you can be. And the universe really wants to get that out of you this year. It wants to turn you into the best version of yourself. And your life usually becomes so much better because of a 4 year. Your life usually becomes more stable. You have more stability in your career, your relationships, in all areas. So make sure to not overdo it during a 4 year. Sometimes people can become workaholics. Sometimes they can just be so focused on, you know, the goal that they have. Usually during a 4 year, people are so goal oriented during a 4 year. Make sure to not overdo it, to give yourself breaks, and also to have a little bit of fun as well. And you will definitely have a great year, and you will stay on the positive side of the number 4 if you make sure to do that. There can sometimes be a feeling of limitation and frustration that comes from this year. However, it is a time of important opportunities that must be taken advantage of. It's a good time to buy real estate or to remodel your home. It is also a good time to take care of projects that have been postponed for too long. Fulfill your obligations and do not be afraid to spend some of that hard-earned money, right? Don't be afraid to spend some of it this year. Selling and trading during this year are usually quite successful endeavors if you decide to do that. This is going to be a year to lay the foundations for the future years ahead and to prepare yourself for the many changes that are going to come for you next year. And you will have a huge feeling of accomplishment and a sense of satisfaction as a result of all of the hard work and effort that you put into this personal year. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with other people. And I'll see you in my next video. So let's talk about what your year will be like if you're having a personal 5-year. And I want you to keep in mind that your personal year will be also greatly affected by the physical, mental, and spiritual transits that you are having this year, in addition to the pinnacle that you're in as well. And not all personal years will be the same because of this. For example, not all people having a personal 5-year will have the exact same year because those people will be having different transits and they will all be in different pinnacles as well. So keep that in mind when listening to what I'm about to tell you about your upcoming personal year number 5. Now, with that being said, so if you're having a 5 personal year, then this will be a year for you to kind of take a little bit of a break. So last year you had a 4 personal year and you probably put in a lot of hard work, and a lot of things happened probably during that year that kind of challenged you a little bit because, 4 is not always the easiest number and you do have to put in a lot of work when you go through a 4 personal year. So the good news is that during this year you get to have a little bit of fun and you will definitely have more fun this year. So things will start to get a little less serious. Things will loosen up a little bit. You will be traveling a little bit more. You will be having a desire to do that. And you will be having a desire to just experience life a little bit more. So 5 is all about experiencing the 5 senses. That's right, we have 5 senses. And that's what the number 5 is all about. It's experiencing those senses and experiencing the world around you. So you will be doing that a lot more this year, and you will be more relaxed. You will be more outgoing. This could be a very exciting year for you. So you could have a lot more excitement. You did a lot of hard work last year. You went through a lot of stuff, and so now it's time to have fun and have a little bit of excitement. So you could be meeting new people. If you're single, you could definitely be dating a lot of people this year, and you could have a lot of opportunities to do that. You could meet somebody new and interesting, and you could date them this whole entire year, and then eventually that will lead into a commitment when you get into your 6th personal year. But it is definitely common to meet somebody new and to start something new during a 5-year. 5 is also a very romantic, playful number. Now, if you're already in a relationship, then you could be having a lot of fun with your partner this year, and you could definitely have a lot of romance in your relationship. The relationship could become more fun, it could become more playful, and so a lot of good things in terms of, just being around other people during a 5-year. And 5 is a very friendly, outgoing number. You could definitely meet a lot of new friends this year. You could have a lot of unexpected things happen. A lot of surprises can always happen during a 5 personal year. 5 is often the number of surprise. Now, the most common thing that I notice happen when people enter a 5 personal year is that change happens. In some area of their life, there is some sort of change. If you specifically want to find out what area might be changing based on your numbers, you can take a look at your pinnacles. Basically, whatever pinnacle you are in, that could determine what the area of your life will be where change will come. But yeah, you're definitely going to have a lot of change happen this year. A lot of people go through a transition or a transformation during their 5-year. I moved during my 5-year, so moving is very common. That happens a lot. But you will have some change in your life. You will have transformation. There's going to be a lot of movement during this year. And this change, of course, will always be for the better. It will always be to improve your life. So maybe you've been needing to move, but you haven't been able to do that. Or maybe you've been needing to change jobs, or you've been needing to change, something in your relationship, or you've been needing to change relationships completely, or you've been needing to change something about the way you live your life, and that often happens during a 5-year, but the universe is supporting you to make that happen, and the universe wants you to do that during a 5-year. And so much good will come out of it. You will see that in years to come. Whatever it is that changes in your life, you will definitely see a lot of benefit in the future from this change. And you're going to be challenged to make that happen, but it will happen for you during this year. So many surprises could come your way this year. Be open and ready to embrace new opportunities, and do not be overly careful this year, okay? This is a year in which a major step forward can take place if you are willing to take some calculated risks and do a little gambling, right? So you might be faced with making choices that require you to take fast action without having all of the knowledge and knowing everything, but you just have to get in on it, and you have to be fast and quick, and your reactions will be faster and quicker this year. Sometimes people can be overindulgent during a 5-year, eating too much food, drinking too much alcohol, doing other things in over excess that are not good for you. So watch out for that, be careful, and definitely you will have some unexpected adventures and a lot of lucky breaks this year. So you're going to have a great year this year. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with other people. And thanks for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. So let's talk about what your year will be like if you're having a personal 6 year. And I want you to keep in mind that your personal year will also be greatly affected by the physical, mental, and spiritual transits you are having that year, in addition to the pinnacle that you're in as well. And that not all personal years will be the same because of this. For example, not all people having a personal year number 6 will have the exact same year, because those people will be having different transits, and they will all be in a different pinnacle number. So keep that in mind when listening to what I'm about to tell you about your upcoming personal 6 year. Now, with that being said, so if you're having a 6 personal year, you can expect to be taking on more responsibility this year. And this can be in any area. It can be in regards to family, your home, your job. It usually is in regards to your family and helping other people or taking care of other people. So it's very common for people to get engaged and to get married during a 6 year. And if not that, then it's very common for people to get in committed relationships during a 6 year. People will often start families, they'll have children. Very common for people to have children during a 6 personal year, and children become the focus. So if you have children, you will be spending more time with your kids, more quality time. You'll be spending a lot more time with your family overall. You might be more invested in your community in some sort of way. You might get more involved in your community during a 6 year. Basically, the focus isn't on you anymore. The focus is on other people and taking care of other people's needs. And that can also include your house too, because 6 is a very domestic number. So often people will have things come up with their house that need to be taken care of during a 6 year. If you've been wanting to buy a house, you could definitely do that during a 6 year. You know, home improvement projects is very common during a 6 year. 6 is the number of beauty. You could be doing a lot of things to help to make your life more beautiful during a 6 year. And the universe will support you in this. The universe will support that energy. It wants to make your life more beautiful during a 6 year. And it wants to support you in becoming more responsible during a 6 year. So you will have challenges thrown at you to kind of help with this, to kind of make you more responsible in some areas. So if there has been any areas of your life that have been lacking in responsibility, then you could become more responsible in those areas during a 6 year. But this can be a year of great progress and financial advancement also. Major career or business opportunities often present themselves, and it is a challenging year in which personal growth is joined with new responsibilities and challenges, but you will meet those challenges this year. But people in general typically become more responsible people, more family-oriented people during their 6th personal year, and they often experience a lot of love. So people will often tell me that they felt more love in their life during a 6th year than any of the other years. So you will be feeling the love from your family, from your friends. Sometimes problems and issues within a marriage or other significant relationships can come to the surface during a 6th year, and they need your attention. However, you will possess the understanding to deal with these issues effectively if you apply yourself with love and flexibility, which you should be able to do this year, as I had mentioned before, because you will be feeling more in the frequency and the energy of love during a 6th year. Another thing is often people from your past will pop back into your life during a 6th personal year. You'll have friends coming back from the past and you'll have reunions. You might have significant others, people that you had relationships with that will come back into your life during the 6th personal year. Any acts of helpfulness and any acts of service to other people that you perform during a 6th year, you will always get that back multiple times. So try to be of service to other people. Try to help out as much as you can. You're going to get that back multiple times, either this year or in years to come. Now, also remember that during a 6th personal year, you don't want to overdo it, okay? So yes, be of service to people, be helpful to other people, but don't forget to take care of yourself. Sometimes people will just neglect themselves completely during a 6th personal year. Don't do that. If you want to do things to help improve your beauty, if you want to do things to take care of yourself, anything like that will be supported during a 6th personal year, because 6 is the number of beauty. So yes, take care of other people, help other people, and you'll get that back multiple times in return, but also take care of yourself. Don't forget that. And if you can remember to do that, you will definitely stay on the positive side of this number this year, and you'll have a great year. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with other people. And definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. So let's talk about what your year might be like if you're having a personal 7 year. And I want you to keep in mind that your personal year will also be greatly affected by the physical, mental, and spiritual transits you are having that year, in addition to the pinnacle that you're in as well. And that not all personal years will be exactly the same because of this. For example, not all people having a personal year 7 will have the exact same year, because those people will be having different transits, and they will all be in different pinnacles. So keep that in mind when listening to what I'm about to tell you about your upcoming personal 7 year. Now, with that being said, so if you're having a 7 personal year, this could be a very spiritual year for you. 7 is a very introspective number, and it's a number that kind of makes you go within. Go within to yourself and kind of figure out where you've been and where you're going. And you could really be getting to know yourself very well this year. So often during a 7 personal year, people will take time out to think about things that they hadn't before in other years. They will be very introspective and kind of figure out, like I said, where they've been, where they're at, where they're going, what they need to improve within themselves. What is it about their life that they need to improve, and what have they been focusing their energy on that has been kind of a waste of their time? How could they improve things? How could they focus their energy so that their desires and their dreams become a reality? So you could be doing that during a 7 personal year. It's a very spiritual time for a lot of people. You could be doing shadow work and working on your shadow this year, which is a great thing to do during a 7 year. People often make a lot of big self-improvements and big changes within themselves. They really get to know themselves on a very deep level during a 7 year, especially if you're in the 2nd pinnacle of your life or in the 3rd pinnacle of your life. If you're in a 7 personal year, it could be a time where you really get to know yourself. You figure out, what is it that really makes you happy? What is it that really makes you tick? What are you passionate about? This could be the year where you figure that out, where you figure out what your desires are, where you want to go in life, what's the next step? What do you want to do with your life? What do you want to be? You could definitely figure that out during this year. Any self-improvement or self-help that you do during this year will be supported by the universe. So if you want to get a self-help book, or you want to take a course in something that will improve you and will improve your life and improve your way of being, then that will be supported by the universe. And people often do a lot of self-improvement during 7 personal years. It's a time to go within and to analyze things. You're analyzing yourself, you're analyzing the world around you. You're going to have greater intellectual abilities during this time. So if you're in school, you will definitely have a good year in school. You'll be able to focus more on your academics and all things intellectual. Often people that are in the process of a spiritual awakening, that will get heightened during a 7 year. Or if they're not in the process of a spiritual awakening, they will start to have a spiritual awakening during a 7 year. 7 is a very spiritual number. And for me, when I was in my 7 personal year, a lot of my psychic abilities started to become more developed. My clairvoyance and my claircognizance started to become more developed during my 7 year. So it's very common with people to start to develop their psychic abilities a little bit more during this time. They start to become aware of psychic abilities that they had that whole time, but they weren't really aware of. People often become more religious. If they're not spiritual, then they become more religious during a 7 year. That's also common as well. But just remember that whatever self-improvement that you do during this year, that's going to benefit you so much if you do it during this year. The universe is going to support you, and it's really just going to make your life so much easier. It's going to improve your life so much for many years to come. So it's okay to focus on yourself this year. There's nothing wrong with that. Take this time out. This is going to be a slower paced year than some of your previous years. This is not a year for social activities, and it's not a year to try to reach goals on a material level. And you will not be as concerned with doing these kinds of things this year. And that's okay. You might need a break. This will be a great time to take some time out for yourself. Get out into nature. Get out into the environment. Go to places that have natural beauty. Beaches, forests, deserts, anything like that where you're in the natural environment. That's going to be supported, and that will definitely help you out during this 7 personal year. This is not a year for social activities, and it's not a year to try to reach your goals on a material level. Improve the quality of your life. Read, contemplate, and gain personal insight. You are very important now. Reset and attend to your own health. It's during this year that you will strengthen the foundation of your life. Remember that your success in all matters rests upon the strength of your inner self and your inner being. And there will be many strange and unusual events inspiring you to take a closer look at life. An opportunity is there for you to experience the joy and beauty of life without all of the artificial and exterior involvement of the outside world messing everything up, right? But purely the growing awareness of yourself. Too much concern and desire for material rewards will turn this period of your life into a very bad experience. So have an attitude of let go and let God. If you have that attitude, then everything will be a lot better this year, and you will have a very pleasant year. So if you make sure to do that, you will definitely stay on the positive side of the number this year, and you will have a great year. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think about everything that you just heard. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure to do that. And if you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with other people. If you want to book a reading with me, I'll put that information below in the description box. Thanks for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. So let's talk about what your year will be like if you're having a personal 8 year. And I want you to keep in mind that your personal year will also be greatly affected by the physical, mental, and spiritual transits you are having that year, in addition to the pinnacle that you're in as well, and that not all personal years will be exactly the same because of this. For example, not all people having a personal 8-year will have the same exact year, because those people will be having different transits, and they will be in a different pinnacle number as well. So keep that in mind when listening to what I'm about to tell you about your upcoming personal 8-year. Now, with that being said, so if you are having an 8 personal year, then congratulations to you. You made it to number 8. Yay. So basically, whatever it is that you have been working towards for the past 8 years, starting with your very first personal year, the very first year in your pinnacle, whatever that is that you've been working on for the past 8 years, or that you've been struggling with, usually when you get to an 8-year, you will have a breakthrough. Yay! This is good news, okay? And I see this all the time. It even happened with myself. You have a breakthrough. So you've been struggling this whole time. You've been working towards something. You've been in your 4-year, you put in the work, you put in the effort. In your 7-year last year, you did the introspection. You tried to figure yourself out. What was it that you needed to fix within yourself? And you did that during your 7-year. Now you get to your 8-year and you finally have some success. And success becomes more easy. So there's not as much of a struggle during this year. And it just comes a little bit easier. So that success comes through, and it's kind of like, it's like a breakthrough. It's like, yay, I put in all this work, and, I'm finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And this breakthrough happens because you did the work. You put in all that work for the past 8 years. You did this, you made it happen. And so, your success is coming because of your efforts, and it's so well deserved. So after last year's constant involvement with yourself and very possible occasional doubts about the state of your life or your career or your business, you will find this year to be a relief. Things will finally work out for you. Long postponed checks and promotions finally come through. Like I said, you see the light at the end of the tunnel, and an inner strength and confidence is breaking through. So this is going to be a good year for you. You could have a lot of success during this year. Take advantage of that. It's a great financial year. It's a great year for business. If you own a business or if you want to start a business, I started my business during my 8 personal year, and I had a lot of success with that during my 8 personal year. I struggled with it at the beginning of my 8 personal year, because that's around the time that I started it. But towards the middle part of my 8 personal year, I started to have a breakthrough in my business and started to finally have some success. You could be spending a lot of money. That does happen. I spent a lot of money during my 8 personal year. I had to do that to get my business started and to get it going, but I got all of that money back, so much in return, because I did that during my 8 personal year. So whatever it is that you put out during an 8 personal year, you always get that back multiple times. And so be generous with your money, be generous with your time, be generous with things. You will always get that back multiple times if you do that during an 8 personal year. And remember that even if it seems like you're still struggling with something at the beginning of the year, that usually will clear up towards the middle part of the year or towards the end of the year. So it's kind of like the harvest time, right? So with farmers, they put in the work and they plow the fields during the springtime and in the summertime. And then when they get to the fall, they finally see a harvest. And so that's kind of the way the 8 year is. It's like harvest time for you. So this is your year of harvest, and the amount of reward that you receive will be equal to the amount of effort that you have put into the past 7 years, as well as into the beginning of your personal 8 year. So this year you will have an opportunity to involve yourself fully in work and material growth and to bring home the rewards. At the same time, a certain detachment is also necessary for you and for the experience you have, because it is not the reward that brings you happiness, remember that, but your experience of life. This is why before the rewarding 8 year comes, you have to have had the opportunity for growth during the soul searching 7 year that you just had. So give into your ambitions and you will find yourself more clear-headed, better focused, and better able to pursue and to reach your goals this year. Your power is visible and strong, and other people will be able to see it for sure. Your mental creativity is going to be high. Your vision and intuition will guide you. So you will receive a lot of intuitive guidance during this year, especially in the areas of business and finances and achieving goals and ambitions. And that is divine guidance that's being given to you. At the same time, you are more efficient and you are more focused this year. There can be a loss, okay? Just keep that in mind. There can be a serious loss, such as a bankruptcy and failure, because the rewards are usually directly proportionate to the level of effort and motivation that you have put out during those past 7 years, as well as what you put out in the beginning of your 8 personal year. So, however, you know the effort that you have put out, and you know your motivation. So focus on this success and focus on the winning that you will achieve, and don't think about the fears and don't think about the doubts. And if you can do that, this will definitely be a very undoubtedly satisfying year with a lot of achievement and success. So just make sure to not spend all of your time on your goals and your finances. Make room for people and for other things during your 8 year. Don't be too much of a perfectionist also. Sometimes that can happen during an 8 year where you just kind of want everything to be perfect. And if you do all those things, you will definitely be on the positive side of this number this year, and you will have a great year. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and leave a comment below if any of this resonated with you. Definitely subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with other people. Personal reading information is below. Thanks for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. So let's talk about what your year might be like if you're having a personal 9 year. And I want you to keep in mind that your personal year will also be greatly affected by the physical, mental, and spiritual transits you are having that year, in addition to the pinnacle that you're in as well. And that not all personal years will be exactly the same because of this. For example, not all people having a personal year number 9 will have the exact same year, because those people will be having different transits, and they will all be in different pinnacle numbers as well. So keep that in mind when listening to what I'm about to tell you about your upcoming personal 9 year. Now, with that being said, so if you are having a personal 9 year, then congratulations to you. You have made it to the end of your pinnacle cycle. Yay! So we cycle through all the numbers 1 through 9 in a pinnacle, and you have made it to the very end of your cycle in this pinnacle. So that's great. Whatever you have been working on in the past 9 years, you are going to be graduating from that this year. So that's good news. By the way, if you don't know what pinnacle you are currently in, you can check out a video that I did on how to calculate this. I'll leave a link to it below in the description box. But basically, the pinnacle kind of determines what the energy is for 9 years, and you've made it to the end. So whatever it is that you've been working on in the past 9 years, you're graduating from that this year, and you basically have done all the work in this area that you need to do. So basically what that means is that whatever it is that you've been struggling with in the past few years, that's going to be coming to an end this year. There's no more lessons to be learned. You've come to the end of the road. You've finished the cycle. You have learned everything that you need to learn in whatever area that is. You've done the work. You've been through the struggles. You've been through the challenges. You got to the end of the road. And so now it's time to move on from these struggles. It's time to graduate. And so whatever it is that you have been struggling with, you basically, when people get to their 9 personal year, it's kind of like they master that. They finally have mastered that. And so there's really no reason to continue it. It's done. and you're moving on. So this is a great thing. That's the great thing about this year. So there's going to be a lot of graduations this year. You know, I don't like to look at things as endings. I like to look at them as graduations. So, you know, you did the work, you completed it, you got it done, and now you're moving on to bigger and better things. So, yes, so this could be in all kinds of areas. It could be whatever it is that your pinnacle number is, especially, so definitely find out what that is. So it might seem like a lot of things are coming to an end for you this year, but really you're just graduating from those things. So you've mastered it, and now you're moving on to something better. Now, often people will have people from their past that will pop up during a 9-year. So don't be surprised if friends from the past or people that you had relationships with in the past come back during a 9-year. That's very, very common. You know, 9 is a very retrospective number. I say this in a lot of my videos, how 9 is kind of, you know, it's the end. So it's always looking back on all of the other numbers that came before it. And, you know, even 9, the way it's positioned, it looks like it's looking back on all the other numbers. So it's very past focused, it's very retrospective. It's very common that people from your past pop up during a 9 personal year. So just get ready for that. You will also feel like you're kind of being challenged to be more helpful and more of service to other people during this year. 9 is a very service, humanitarian, humanity-focused number. So 1 is the number of the self, and 9 is the last number, so it's the number of everybody. You might feel like you're being challenged to be more of service to larger groups of people, your family. You could become more family-oriented, more family-focused. Sometimes things will pop up with families during a 9-year where you have to come in and kind of like take care of your family. But also you might feel challenged to do something on a greater platform, to maybe do something more public that a larger number of people can see. You might be challenged to take something to a higher level, to a greater level. But this will basically be a year to tie up loose ends, to finish up all unfinished business, to clean house, and to make room for new things and this new beginning that's about to start for you. On a material level, this is a good time to get rid of unnecessary weight and to give away or to sell what you do not need anymore and to pay off old debts. On a spiritual level, your attention should turn to others and their needs. And you might have a lot of questions and you might be feeling a lot of doubts this year, but to lighten this, this burden of doubts and questions that you might have, the best way to do this is by focusing your attention in another direction, away from yourself. And you will find yourself becoming more lighter and more in touch with yourself when you do this, right? So focusing the attention on other people will help take away some of the doubts that you have during this year. This is a time of contemplation, and problems can be solved and ended easily during this year. Strained relationships will become relaxed, or they might disappear altogether. And that's very common during a 9-year where relationships just completely disappear. Relationships that are no longer necessary will just be removed from your life. And all of the sources of stress within your life, whether it be from work, family, whatever, they will be better understood and dealt with this year. Be social and communicative and enjoy music and other arts because your creativity is going to be higher than usual during a 9-year. There can be some difficulties this year due to your desire to face obstacles and to overcome them. Decisions will need to be made, and your courage and strength may be severely tested at times. This is not going to be the easiest year all of the time, okay? Just keep that in mind. But you will feel relieved on the brink of the positive breakthrough at the end of this year. So in the beginning and maybe even in the middle of the year, it might not be the easiest year, but you will see this huge breakthrough at the end of the year. And it's really just preparing you for this brand new beginning and this beautiful future that awaits you next year. So you've reached the end of this pinnacle, and it's basically the end of a cycle. And many times you will feel the excitement of the new and promising era that is coming next. And this is a time when optimism will be your friend. But you will also experience the fear of letting go too, okay? So, however, the more you do let go, the more room there is to be filled during this next cycle. So, sometimes this can be a very emotional year, but be okay with letting go. The more you can do that, the easier this year will be for you. And you will be paving the way and letting in this brand new, beautiful era and new beginning that is on the horizon for you that will come at the end of this year. So just make sure to take care of yourself and take care of your sensitivity during this time. Protect your sensitivity. You could be more sensitive during a 9 personal year, so definitely protect your energy. And if you do all of those things, you will definitely have a great year and you will stay on the positive side of this number this year. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and please leave a comment below and let me know what you think. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure to do that. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with other people. Personal reading information is below. Thanks for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. So let's talk about what your year might be like if you're having a personal Master 11 year. And I want you to keep in mind that your personal year will also be greatly affected by the physical, mental, and spiritual transits you are having that year, in addition to the pinnacle that you're in as well. And that not all personal years will be exactly the same because of this. For example, not all people having a personal Master 11 year will have the exact same year, because those people will be having different transits, and they will all be in a different pinnacle number as well. So keep that in mind when listening to what I'm about to tell you about your upcoming personal Master 11 year. And also be sure to check out the personal 2 number year as well, because the 2 energy will also have effect on you during a Master 11 year. So if you are having a personal Master number 11 year, then you can expect the unexpected this year. That's kind of the theme that I've noticed with people that have a Master number 11 year. Basically, anything can happen. Anything can happen. I mean, it's really crazy if you think about it. It's really, like, you can really just expect the unexpected to happen. Really, the only thing that you can expect to happen is a lot of big things, because this is a master number, and so a lot of big things happen during master number years. So you could have a lot of big things happen in your life, things that you just could have never foreseen, things that you would have never expected. I've looked at the charts of past presidents. A lot of them won their elections during master number 11 years. I've looked at the charts of celebrities. A lot of them became famous during master number 11 years. So, you know, it's crazy. A lot of big things can happen. And a lot of this depends on what your pinnacle is, because your personal year is just one of the numbers in the 9 numbers in your pinnacle. So if you don't know what pinnacle you currently are in, you can check out a video that I did about how to calculate this number. I'll put a link to it below. But basically, a lot of big things can happen during a master number 11 personal year, because this is a master number, but also 11 is the number of bringing illumination. So something could happen in your life that brings illumination to you, that uses you as an example to bring illumination to a lot of other people. You could be used as an example to do that, to help inspire people, to just, you know, light the way, to show people the path. So that is very common during an 11 year. 11 is also a very spiritual number. It's a very mysterious number. If you look at it, it kind of looks like a doorway or a porthole into another world and another dimension, the spiritual world and the spiritual realms. And it also kind of looks like a bridge. If you tip it over on its side, it looks like a bridge that you could walk across. And the bridge representing the bridge between the two worlds, right? The bridge between our world and the spiritual world. So for this reason, a lot of times during an 11 personal year, people will start to get all this information from the spirit realms, and it will become very clear to them. They'll start to realize that they have psychic abilities. It's very common for people to start channeling and to become mediums and psychics during a personal 11 year. This is more common during an 11 pinnacle, but it can also happen during an 11 personal year. Now, 11 also is very symbolic of the twin flame connection, because if you look at the 11s, it kind of looks like two people standing next to each other, two identical people, two twins standing next to each other. So sometimes people will meet a twin flame during a personal 11 year. If they do have a twin flame, they might meet them during this year, or they might be reunited with a twin flame during this year. There can be a focus on relationships. They can meet soulmates, people that they were meant to be in long-term committed relationships. Sometimes they will meet them during a personal 11 year. So just make sure to take care of yourself during this year. Take care of your body. Do not drink a lot of caffeine. Try to reduce your alcohol intake. Try to eat a healthy diet that will help to reduce any anxiety that you might feel during a personal 11 year. And just remember that anything that comes up that's unexpected, well, now you know that, that's kind of just the way this year is. It can be very unexpected. And if you remember to do all of that, you will definitely stay on the positive side of this number this year, and you will have a great year. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment below and let me know what your thoughts are. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure to do that. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with other people. Personal reading information will be below. Thanks for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. So let's talk about what your year might be like if you're having a personal Master 22 year. And I want you to keep in mind that your personal year will also be greatly affected by the physical, mental, and spiritual transits that you are having that year, in addition to the pinnacle that you're in as well. And that not all personal years will be the same because of this. For example, not all people having a personal Master 22 year will have the exact same year, because those people will be having different transits, and they will all be in different pinnacle numbers as well. So keep that in mind when listening to what I'm about to tell you about your upcoming personal Master 22 year. And also make sure to check out personal year number 4 as well, because some of the 4 personal year energy will affect you during a Master number 22 year. So if you're having a Master number 22 personal year, you can expect a lot of big things to happen this year. Since this is a Master number, you will be required to put in more work than usual, since 22 has the energy of the number 4. And 4, as we all know, is the number of work, and it's the hardest working number. You will be challenged to build something stable and of significance within your life, and to restructure your life for the better so that there is more stability in the long run. So remember, 4 is a very stable number, and because 22 has the energy of the number 4, you will be challenged to become more stable during this year. Something might have to be destroyed in your life in order for this restructuring and this rebuilding to occur. However, after this restructuring and rebuilding of whatever it was that needed to be rebuilt in your life, after this happens, it will be a very stable time in your life. It will also be a time of attracting love, harmony, and relationships, and often people find real love during a 22 personal year, because 22 has the energy of 2 number 2s, and 2, as you remember, is the number of love, companionship, commitment, and being united with another person. So try not to get too worried about things. If you see something being removed from your life, just know that something is going to be rebuilt in its place, and that will happen to make your life better. So everything is happening to help you, to make your life more stable, to bring something more stable that will last a long time for you, and to just make things better for you. So Also, don't be too hard on yourself this year. People often have really high expectations of themselves during a personal 22 year. So try to go easy on yourself, and if you can lower your expectations on yourself, then your year will be a lot easier. And if you can do all of those things, then you will definitely stay on the positive side of this number this year, and you will have a great year. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and definitely leave a comment below and let me know what you think. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure to do that. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with other people. Personal reading information will be below. Thanks for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. So let's talk about what your year might be like if you're having a personal Master 33 year. And I want you to keep in mind that your personal year will also be greatly affected by the physical, mental, and spiritual transits you are having that year, in addition to the pinnacle that you're in as well. And that not all personal years will be the same because of this. For example, not all people having a personal year Master 33 will have the same exact year, because some of those people will be having different transits, and they will be in different pinnacle numbers as well. So keep that in mind when listening to what I'm about to tell you about your upcoming personal Master 33 year. And also make sure to check out personal year number 6, because some of the 6 personal year energy will affect you during a Master 33 year. So what can you expect during a Master 33 year? Well, this is a master number, so you can expect big things to happen, because the master numbers tend to do things in a really big way. So you can expect a lot of big things to happen, sometimes things that are unexpected and not foreseen. Master numbers are not always the easiest year, and they can be a bit more challenging than the other years, but you can achieve a lot more and often have more potential to do great, big things than in the other years. This is a year of heightened creativity because of the double 3 energy, and you might find yourself creating different projects or developing more creative talents this year. This will also be a year of personal healing, where a lot of trauma from the past comes up to the surface and to your awareness to be healed. You have a great chance to heal all of this year, and you will have greater healing abilities and be able to heal others during a 33 year, since the Master 33 is the creative healer energy. You will be more connected to the divine, and your spiritual team, especially your guardian angels, will be working more closely with you. And the veil will become much thinner, as the Master 33 energy is a very angelic frequency. You might start having a more clear and direct channel to them, especially the angelic frequencies, because of this. You're being divinely guided to heal yourself and others this year, and to use whatever creative modalities you can to do that. So do this through giving people angelic guidance, counseling, teaching, and being supportive, helpful, and spreading love. Your ability to express yourself will also become greater this year, and you will start loving yourself on a much deeper level this year and sending out that energy to the world to help heal others who have endured similar trauma. And because you are in a higher frequency of love during a Master 33 year, you often will attract it during it. And this includes romantic love as well. So take advantage of this rare and blessed year that has been given to you. You will become more beautiful, and you will bring more beauty to the world this year through the healing and creative and angelic energies that are given to you. So try not to scatter your energies too thin. Focus on the healing, teaching, and counseling, and helping others, and spread that love that you'll be feeling for yourself this year to the world around you. And don't be too much of a perfectionist this year, because sometimes the Master 33 energy can be a perfectionist. So try to let that go as much as you can, and let go of a need to control some of the challenges that may come up during a Master number year. And just know that your life will be so much better as a result of this year and the healing that takes place during it. And if you can do that, then you will have a great year. So let me know in the comments below what you got for your personal year number. What does that mean for you? What will happen for you in this year? Let us know in the comments below. Also, if you want to book a personal reading with me so we can go more into depth into the specifics in your chart to see exactly what will happen for you during this personal year, then you can check out that information below. I'll put a link to it in the description box. And definitely check out some of the other videos that I've done on how to calculate numbers like your pinnacles and your challenges and your karmic lessons. I'll put links to them below in the description box. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, share it with other people, and I would love to have you subscribe and to become part of the family. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video today. I love you guys, and I'm sending you light and love, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.